What's going on, everybody? Week 2, drum set for non-majors, quarantined edition. So if you are not one of my students from the University of the Arts and you came across this video via social media, hopefully you get something out of it. So if you are one of my students from the University of the Arts, today we are focusing on a few different rock grooves from that rock sheet. Now I know you do not have a drum set at home, but if you have a practice pad, like one here, you can play the steady eighth note on the rim of the practice pad and your backbeat on 2 and 4 on the actual surface of the practice pad. Like everything else, you can stomp your feet on the ground so you can get this procedural pattern down. If you do not have a practice pad, hands right on the lap, playing those same patterns. So I'm gonna move this and let's continue. Okay, so with all of these grooves, just as a refresher, we talked about how we are playing a steady eighth note with our right hand, and we are playing our left foot and our left hand on 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Remember, those three things are the main components of all of these rhythms. We're trying to make sure that we are developing the procedural patterns to play a bunch of different rock grooves, but the only thing that we're changing is the kick drum. So in this lesson, let's work on grooves 11, 12, and 13. Those three grooves are exactly like 8, 9, and 10. The difference this time is that we are adding a kick drum to the end of beat 1. So for groove number 11, you are continuing to play steady eighth notes with the right hand on your ride cymbal. You are still playing your left hand and your left foot on 2 and 4. You are playing the bass drum, however, on 1, the end of 1, and the end of 2. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, ready, and. I'll play it again. This time I'm going to slow it down. 1, 2, ready, and. So if you need to, go back and watch that portion of me playing this as many times as you need to. As a friendly reminder, speed is not the end game here, it's consistency and accuracy. So if you need to play it a lot slower than I did, fine, as long as you get the pattern down. If you have it down and you can play it faster, that's awesome too. But either way, get that down first and then move on. So with groove number 12, same concept, right hand steady eighth notes, left hand, left foot on 2 and 4. Bass drum this time is being played on 1, the end of 1, and the end of 3. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, ready, and. And here is that groove again, slowed down. 1, 2, ready, and. So now for groove number 13, we are just combining 11 and 12. So that means our kick drum is played on 1, the end of 1, the end of 2, the end of 3. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, ready, and. And here it is again, slowed down. 1, 2, ready. So now what I would like you to do is take one of those grooves, play it for 3 measures, and then for the 4th measure as your drum fill, play the single paradiddle from last week. So if you are to play those single paradiddles as eighth notes, that means you are going to play 2 of them. Paradiddle, paradiddle. If you are playing those paradiddles as 16th notes, you then have 4 of them. Paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. So for this demonstration, I will show you playing groove 13 for 3 measures, and then playing the paradiddles in an eighth note subdivision. Then I'll go back to playing the groove for 3 measures, and then play the paradiddles in a 16th note subdivision. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, ready, and. So if you do have a drum set at home, see how you can play those paradiddles around the drum kit to make it sound a bit more musical than just playing paradiddles on your snare drum. To kickstart your creativity, think about moving the first note of the paradiddle to one of the toms on the drum kit. So your assignment for this week is to take one of those 3 grooves, record yourself playing it, and uploading it to Google Classroom. The next part of that submission is to take a different groove, play it for 3 measures, and then play that paradiddle, and then get back into that same groove. I am looking for that nice fluid transition between the groove to the paradiddle fill, back into the groove. Okay, now it's time for groove identification. This week's song is Put Your Record On by Corinne Bailey Rae. Now with this song, the fundamental groove is actually going back and forth between 2 grooves from your rock PDF. To make it a little bit easier on you, that first groove is actually groove number 1. The second groove is one of those 3 grooves we just went over. Again, there may be some subtle nuances throughout the song, but we are looking for those 2 grooves that make up the fundamental groove. And that is it. Thank you so much again for being super cooperative with this. Way to be super creative with how you are playing the drums at home. And again, if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to me so I can help you out. Till next time, see you later.